All right, greetings, beautiful people. So I'm gonna make this video on maybe a little bit of third eye vision, you know what I mean? Because people think that, you know, third eye vision is just seeing things in a metaphysical way where you just see, you know, spirits and things that are non-material, but sometimes it's just being vigilant to certain things that you may see. But see, I took this originally because of that X, you know what I mean? And it was a real cloudy day, you know what I mean? But the X kind of, you know, brought to my attention this certain picture. But as I look at this picture closely, and I'm sorry about the glare, I know it's kind of sunny out and whatnot, but I see a face, and it's a clear face, and it's such a defined face, you know what I mean? Because I see eyebrows, I see an eyeball, I see a face, like a clear face here, you know what I mean? And there's people who see faces like, you know, on mountaintops, trees. You can see pictures like that, you know what I mean? And I happened to take this while I was driving, so I didn't have my camera on me, so I only took a picture. And I also, and this happened yesterday, and I also took a picture where at nighttime I was sun gazing, okay? And you can kind of see another eye here. And actually I took two pictures because as the sun was going down more, it just got more clear. You know what I mean? Look at this. It got more clear where I could see the eye right there, you know what I mean? And I could see a face. And I could see the whole image. And again, people will be like, yo, Peter, you're losing your mind, you're just seeing things. All right, could be, you know what I mean? But I took a picture and it just looks so clear to me, you know what I mean? I just find it to be very clear. Life gets pretty magical, you know what I mean, as you go on. This is when the sun was, I was sun gazing. The sun was going down, and as it went down, it got more red. Here's the funny part too. I was paying attention to the sky, and the moon was somewhere around this area, which wasn't too far from the sun. But to me, I could swear that the moon just appeared out of nowhere, because I didn't, you know, I could see the moon in the middle of the day. I'm gonna turn my camera over. I could see the moon in the middle of the day, and I mean, to me, it just popped out of nowhere, you know what I mean? But I thought I'd share that little picture with you. If you guys don't see anything, okay, if you do, then leave some comments down underneath and tell me if you do see something, because I see a face, you know what I mean? Daytime, and then as the sun was going down, I still see the face. And again, people could see faces in trees, and things just pop out, you know what I mean? And they just pop out as faces, or, you know, I believe everything is just is conscious, you know what I mean? Now, this is why I even say, and I'm gonna make this video on this, where people will talk about, I'm conscious, I'm aware, and I'm woke, but just because, why? Because you watched the YouTube video and you watched a couple, you read a couple books, that makes you conscious and aware, but in reality, you still walk around like zombies, because you eat without paying attention to even, you know, the juices, the flavors of the actual food, you know what I mean? The life force, the vibration. Here's where the whole concept of prayer came in. People think that they pray over the food because a God is supposed to bless it for you, but it's not. The whole concept of prayer comes in from you literally transmuting whatever energies are in that food to serve you. You know what I mean? Because you're God. You're transmuting the energies, and you're blessing the food. You're putting that energy in you, and you could transmute anything if you knew how to do it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has this ability. It's kind of like people look at, you know, ancient depictions of people, you know, looking at the sun, but you know, you would think like, oh, they're worshiping the sun, you know what I mean? And this is why everybody's so programmed to always look at something and worship it or follow something, and it really isn't. If you really look at it from a different perception, people were actually utilizing the sun as a tool to empower them, you know what I mean? The sun gives life to everything on the planet, including trees. You notice how you know, when the sun is out, the plants grow. You know what I mean? Everything just looks green. Everything is more vibrant. Everything's alive. Without the sun, we wouldn't have life on this planet. So your energy flows where attention goes, right? So if you pay attention to the sun, yeah, you're giving energy to the sun, but the sun is also giving you back energy. There's that law of reciprocity. You're circulating energy there. You know what I mean? There's something that's serving you. People will waste their time paying attention to things like video games or apps and some garbage that ain't serving them. You're putting your attention, but what is it giving you back? You know what I mean? So you're always eating, you know what I mean? So this is why being conscious and aware is being aware and conscious of what you're intaking, because you're always receiving. When you see something, you're not looking out, you're receiving, you know what I mean? And it's doing something to your brain. You know what I mean? That's why when you watch pornography, it can mess up your brain. It messes with your dopamine. You know what I mean? When you listen to information, it's forming your nation, but it's also giving you knowledge. Or if you're listening to something that's not serving you, it's just like, it's equivalent to just you eating matter and something you can't even digest. You know what I mean? When you smell, the same thing. That's why there's something called aromatherapy. You know what I mean? With certain aromas, you know what I mean, you could heal. And same thing with color. Some colors, there's color therapy. You could visually, you know, heal with color therapy. You know what I mean? Sounds, binaural beats, 432, 528 hertz, but instead we're listening to 440 hertz rap music, and those things aren't doing anything but destroying us. It's the same thing. Everything we intake is information, but why nobody pays attention to what they're eating as information? You know what I mean? So conscious and aware. How many people do you actually make eye contact with and not just say, oh, hey, hi, and just being proper and etiquette? Even when you're in a job, you're looking at them in the face and making eye contact with them is just not being well-mannered. But when you look at somebody in the eye, I don't care if you're in the business world, because you're conscious and aware, you got to know that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and you're making a connection spiritually with them. Your ancestors are connecting with their ancestors. You know what I mean? When you shake somebody's hand, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? If you knew that everything is just 99.999% empty space, when you're touching somebody, that's literally, you're making some type of energetic connection. You know what I mean? But you're always taught to do it with the right hand. You know what I mean? When you shake somebody's hand with the left hand, yeah, we're programmed to think that that's rude, but your left hand's closer to the heart. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when we put our feet on the ground. You know what I mean? We just aimlessly walk on the floor, not realizing that we are actually a conductor putting our foot on the ground, and we are you know, we are taking negative ions from the ground, and we are giving off the positive. See, we ground our energy. You know what I mean? That's why sometimes we're all over the place. And I find myself like that, and that's why I talk about it. Again, everything's an experience. Sometimes I got so many ideas and so many things I want to talk about, and I can't organize my message sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I watch my videos again and I was like all over the place. I can't properly, you know, direct the words that are or the message that I have here, so that I can convey it so it can be understandable to anybody. Sometimes I'm just like all over the place, like things just come in, I can't organize it. You know what I mean? And that's because I'm not grounded. So sometimes I just gotta ground myself, take proper breathing, and I'm learning all this. You know what I mean? And this is why I'm able to relay the message properly, or what I'm trying to speak on, I can properly relay the message for people to understand it. You know what I mean? And you know, this is what consciousness is, you know what I mean? And you utilize the sun, you know, just relax, you know, and take time to yourself. You know what I mean? Are you harmonizing with other people's energy? It doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're trying to sell something, or if you're literally just trying to, you know, learn something or get something. But it doesn't matter. You still got to be in harmony with somebody else, because their energy just like you. You know, you're both energetic bodies, but there's going to be people who may not even want to be in your presence because they're uncomfortable with you if your energy is not harmonized with theirs. So they might not even buy something off of you. Sometimes people don't even need something. They'll just buy something from you just because they like you. You know what I mean? So that's building a rapport. You know what I mean? And this is why, you know, even like you could be a parasite. You know what I mean? You could be popular. If you look at the word popular, solar, right? You notice how solar, popular. I'm going to tell you something about popular. You can harness a lot of energy just by being popular, but you could do it in an unfavorable way. You could be somebody like, for example, I want to use, and I don't see nothing wrong with this gentleman, but Donald Trump. Everybody wants to look at him as somebody who's bad or somebody who's obnoxious and this and that, but it don't matter. He's known by everybody. You know what I mean? Or you could be somebody who's known for something good. You know what I mean? And you're harnessing energy, but what it's a reputation. You know what I mean? So how do you present yourself? Don't matter. At the end of the day, you're still going to harness energy, but there's a cause and effect. Are you a parasite, or are you doing something of service to people? You know what I mean? So it's important to be in harmony with what you're doing. You know what I mean? Even if you're doing something low vibrational, you still got to be in harmony with that low vibration and know that you're capable of doing it. You know what I mean? But if you're not, for example, it's going to backfire and blow up in your face. It doesn't matter what you do. You know what I mean? This is what knowledge is you knowing that you have the power and you have the control to do whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? And the moment you doubt yourself, it's done. It's over. You know what I mean? This is what consciousness and knowledge and wisdom is, just, you know, going in, and it's going within and literally doing what you do without. You know what I mean? If you don't go within, you literally go without. Shit is crazy. When you do not go within, you go without. So, third eye vision, man, it's not just seeing something spiritual, it's literally seeing things here for what they are also, and knowing how to manage the energies outside of yourself. All right, sometimes you may need to go within to take care of your stuff without, you know, but again, this is you going from third dimension into fourth dimension, and from fourth dimension you'll just know how to surf the waves to whatever dimension you want to go to, because everything is just a state of being. This is why you hear mindset. You know what I mean? Mindset. You're in a certain setting, like you set a program, you set a computer program, and you have it set a certain way. So you know what I mean? You gotta be you gotta be aware of that. You know what I mean? Mindset is everything, honestly. When you set to something, you gotta follow that program now. So what setting do you want to be in? You know what I mean? What state of being are you in? All right. And being aware and conscious. This is how you're able to know what you're letting in and know what you should be letting out also. You know what I mean? I made a video on spiritual attacks. That's what it ties into that. So we will conscious and awareness, you know what I mean? Just be conscious of everything. You know what I mean? And listen, people will look at this as this is a hard thing, and it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. The moment that you do not associate yourself with your body, and you know you're here having an experience and you're operating in this vessel, okay, then it's not hard, because it's just the way you see things now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just part of your life. It's a lifestyle now. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you become a bodybuilder, you know what I mean? You live that lifestyle. People just focus on, you know what I mean? Like, somebody who's not in that lifestyle will look at it as, fuck, man, I gotta eat 6 times a day. I gotta go to the gym for 2 hours. I gotta do this. You know what I mean? They'll look at so many, I gotta take this many supplements. But somebody who's already in that game, they don't even have to think about it. They just automatically do it. You know what I mean? They think they're doing something right, which they're not. You know what I mean? But again, that's their perception. It's just the way they see things. They see things as they're doing something good, and then they'll teach other people that same way, and they think they're doing something good, but they're really not, because all that shit that they're doing is actually something that's hurting them in the long run, robbing their body of energy. But their mind is not into the mindset that you have, you know, looking at it in a spiritual way. You know what I mean? They're just associating themselves with the body, and unconsciously they don't even know that they're actually looking at their body as something outside of themselves, because they always talk about, I do this workout to trick the muscles into doing this, I do this to tricking the body into burning fat. You know what I mean? They don't realize that they're actually not really associating themselves with the body, but their mind is not really connecting to that. So everything is perception. Okay, so that's why when you see somebody that is living a certain lifestyle, they do it automatically without even having to think about it. So when you start to put yourself in the mindset that you're not your body, you live the lifestyle of just managing yourself differently out here without even having to think about it. It just happens. All right, so I hope this helps, and like, share, and subscribe. And if you know, you have anything, leave them in the comments. We'll talk soon.